and welcome to ODIHR's e-course on safety and security in human rights work. The main objective of this course is to provide human rights defenders with the knowledge and skills necessary to make informed decisions on their physical and digital security, as well as their psychological safety. We will walk you through how human rights defenders can protect themselves, their team, their information, and the people whose rights they're trying to uphold. Human rights defenders undertake a vital and demanding mission, promoting and protecting our human rights, sometimes while shouldering significant burdens. There are many external factors that can hinder their work, from actors that shrink their civic space to the challenging context in which they operate. Adversaries may resort to physical, digital, or legal threats or attacks. And this type of hostile environment can lead to mental health challenges, burnout, distress, and fatigue. These risks and challenges coexist and are interlinked and often divert precious resources such as time, energy, effort, and funds away from defenders' primary mission. This is where the concept of investing in security comes into play. By allocating adequate resources to security, human rights defenders can prevent these threats and challenges from getting in the way of progress. So, how can human rights defenders successfully employ the resources they decide to allocate to security? First, a systematic approach to security is required. Human rights defenders need to start by identifying and prioritizing their primary risks and problems. Then they can determine effective mitigation strategy, implement these measures, and verify their effectiveness. And finally, defenders must continuously and regularly repeat this cycle, taking into account context and new developments. A cyclic approach is key because of the evolving nature of context and risks. A new threat can arise at any given time and request us to adapt our security measures. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to security, but a robust approach to security requires a sound understanding and assessment of the context, of the individual characteristics and background of the people involved, as well as existing capacities and vulnerabilities. And this is the essence of risk management process. This approach empowers individuals and organizations to anticipate and mitigate potential threats while safeguarding their ability to carry out their important, legitimate missions. Risk management efforts should be applied in relation to all types of security: physical, digital, and psychological. This is what we call a holistic approach to security. When you hear the term holistic security, what comes to your mind? Take a few moments to think about it and write down a few words that you associate with this concept. Now, take a look at the word cloud on the screen. Did you think about anything similar? When we think about safety and security, we tend to consider only some of the aspects that these terms refer to. For example, we might focus on the potential risks and consequences of being physically attacked without considering possible threats to our well-being. Or we might be concerned about the risk of losing the information we store on our electronic devices, but don't think about the possibility that our equipment might be physically stolen or seized. We might also treat these various aspects separately, in isolation, and not as a whole. Adopting a holistic approach to security means taking into account how the physical, digital, and psychological implications of safety and security relate to each other. A holistic approach integrates these elements into the strategies and measures we develop to protect ourselves. Security should not be limited to a single dimension. It should encompass all aspects relating to security. When it comes to risk management, the holistic approach to security includes two major aspects. First, the global perspective, which entails creating a comprehensive ranked list of risks and problems for both organizations and individuals, and then prioritizing them collectively. So instead of having separate ranked lists for digital, physical, or psychological risks, we have one general list for everything. This helps us define the sequence of what risks and problems we actually need to deal with first. It might be possible that there are no digital risks, physical risks, or any other specific risks among the top priorities. The goal is not to list every conceivable type of security. It's about managing risks practically to address specific problems. The second aspect is local, procedural, and tailored to the nature of each individual risk or problem and its mitigation. For example, if the risk pertains to the confiscation of devices, it might involve physical, digital, legal, or psychosocial aspects, all of which must be considered in the mitigation strategy. Similarly, if a person is dealing with fatigue, distress, or burnout, this will undoubtedly impact their ability to assess risks, make informed decisions, and implement solutions. In this course, you will be able to dive into the risk management process and understand how to apply it to all aspects of security. The central idea behind this course is that physical, digital, and psychological security do not stand alone. All types of security are interconnected, influence each other, and require attention and resources. Because they inform each other, they must all be managed holistically. And this course does not aim to provide ready-to-implement solutions, but rather to offer the opportunity to reflect individually on how to apply the risk management process. As contexts are rapidly evolving, especially when it comes to digital technologies, it is important to note that the example we give may be less relevant as more development in security arise. We wish you a great learning experience and invite you to give us feedback upon completion of the course. All the best and stay safe.